Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
I tell you what, is Facebook trying to stay in the news, or is it just me? I'm Liz Mattori. I'm your guest host for the Kevin Jackson Show on KJRadio.com. So yeah, once again, Facebook. Did you know that 73% of the adult population in the United States is on Facebook? So let's start off there. Any sort of thing, issue, or what have you that Facebook is doing, saying, or not doing or saying is affecting 73% of the adult population in the United States. And of course, that's not including the rest of the world. So when you see an issue about your privacy that has now been flared by Cambridge Analytica. It's some research firm that sells the data from Facebook to candidates' campaigns. Specifically, this one was to Donald Trump. And again, as a political person and a former candidate and a former campaign manager and field organizer, that in itself is not random. I mean, how else do you think people market to you? And I got mad at one of my college friends, and actually, she doesn't talk to me anymore. She actually defriended me. It was one of my first major defriends. This is before I even became a Republican. But I told her that, as we know, Facebook is it's a social network, but the social network, ultimately speaking, only makes a profit because it sells data for marketing purposes. And so I told her once, I was like, hey, I didn't even tell her. I was, I actually do love this lady to death. She was one of my roommates in college. And as I said, she's a year ahead of me, and she has a daughter. She might even have more children than one now. I don't even know because I'm not on Facebook with her anymore. Go figure. But, she posted a picture of her daughter potty training. And I posted on Facebook, I draw the line at potty training because I'm very, I'm more politically active and out there now because of my, activism. But, years ago when we were just friends, sharing information with friends and other friends or what have you, people would post all these pictures, especially of their children. And you're like, yo, do you realize that anybody can download that picture and use your child's picture for nefarious reasons? And so everyone out there with your children, your grandchildren, or whatever, please watch what you post on your social media apparatus. I'm just saying. So you talk about, privacy. So apparently, I heard this there's a radio station in my area called WTOP. It's like our news radio show. It's like 24 hours, news, weather, traffic, information. And they said that the issue with this particular data collection that Facebook does is that, when you have to opt into certain applications. So like, for example, there are some applications that want to integrate from, for you using this, and they can log in through your Facebook. Please, if you don't learn anything from me, learn this. Never, ever, ever, unless you need it for work purposes or something that's super duper neat necessary, do not sync applications. Like when you have a new thing, whether it's on your phone or what have you, and they say, okay, you can log in with your Facebook because they think and they're making you assume that it's easier for you to do that. No. The only reason why they're doing that is to, again, what I say before, access your data. So that's lesson rule number 1000% most important rule when you're interacting with social media. It's a marketing tool, and do not link your accounts. So if you say no and you don't give that app or Facebook a certain amount of data, whether it's your email, your phone number, what have you, those are very important. As you know, we communicate through phone and specifically email. So that's really the data, yeah? Beyond your your buying history and what you talk about and what political aspirations or leanings you have. That's a whole nother aspect. But even just your email and your phone number are like huge data points for marketers like myself, actually. But anyway, so if you say no, but your friend says yes, that company, that data mining apparatus has access to your data now, just because your friend said yes. And that, I think, is like mind-blowing. Because here we're thinking that we have some sort of control over what information is out there. And, you're like, okay, well, that's the reason why I don't have an Android phone, actually. I don't know if that's a bad thing to say, but because it has Google as its base and it uses a Gmail account. Again, talking about that integration piece, now your phone is highly integrated into every single thing that you talk about, every single text. I mean, and we could talk about the NSA some other time, but we have to be careful. Anyway, they're having an issue in the EU and the UK because, oddly enough, they have stronger privacy protections over there in Europe than they do here. So we have to watch this case go through, and we'll see how this all plays out. I mean, be careful, as I said, when you're on social media, it's great to interact with people. Definitely, this is where people interact because that's how we are living our lives. But please, please, please read what you click. If you have this agreement, if you agree with it or you don't agree with it, you have to still know what you're up against. Be careful of what you share, what pictures you share. Definitely when it comes to minors, know that anyone, well, Facebook actually owns all the stuff that you write and you post and even pictures. So, I mean, you have possession, but they can also use it for whatever purposes they want. And again, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all of these things only really exist to get your information so that companies can promote to you better and sell to you better. And so now that you have that information, how are you going to interact with these social media platforms? Of course, we're going to still use Facebook. I don't know if you've been blocked from it. I personally, knock on wood, have not been blocked from it. But I know that a lot of my conservative friends are being blocked. Would you drop it? Are you willing to stop using Facebook?
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.
Beth Cook Moranville, author of Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope.
Hope, that wonderful, wonderful 4-letter word that you may feel completely out of. I wrote this book to give you great hope. It's not too late. If fetal position is an all too familiar place for you, I understand. If the next 60 seconds are too long, this book is for you. Wherever you are right now, whether you're dealing with divorce or death or sickness, take hope. You are going to make it through this pain. Don't roll your eyes. I've walked this road and I know it. The best is yet to come.
Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope from author and speaker Beth Cook Moranville, can be found on Amazon.com or Kindle.com. For more information, visit closerthanYourBreath.com or on Facebook at Closer Than Your Breath.